Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Much. I'm bringing you guys another video. In today's video, I'm going to try to show you guys how to wheelie. Now, I don't know exactly, like I can't hold the wheelie myself, but that's what we're going to do in today's videos. I'm basically going to ride a wheelie and try to learn it as best I can. You guys are going to see my progress, my steps in wheeling on this bike right here, the Peace Moto. This bike is amazing to learn how to wheelie compared to the Teo. This bike is actually a lot of fun. Now the reason I say that bike's so much fun is because compared to the Teo, the 140cc has more power, but this one can actually pop it in second gear, which is plenty. I don't need to go any higher of a gear or lower of a gear. Second gear is perfect to do a wheelie and learn on. I just need to learn that balancing point. If you guys saw my last video, I talked about it. And that's basically the step, what I'm gonna learn today. So you guys might see me fall a little bit. Hopefully, I'm hoping I don't break the bike too bad falling. I know I'm gonna fall a few times. I'm gonna commit. I am doing it on gravel, which is the dumbest idea you could probably do when you're trying to learn how to wheelie. And the reason is because, I mean, one, it's hard gravel. It's not gonna feel good. It does have more grip, so I guess that helps a little bit, but the grass would just be a lot smoother to fall on. Plus, if I drop the bike on this, more likely to break, or something's gonna end up breaking off of the bike, which sucks. Hoping it doesn't happen, but it's what you got to expect when you're learning how to wheelie. So yeah, you guys are gonna see me learn the 12 o'clock wheelie. I'm not gonna 12 o'clock, I'm just gonna break it to you now. I'm not gonna 12 o'clock, but you guys are gonna see me try to learn how to get it back far enough and then hit the brake to bring it back down. Now these bikes don't have enough power, and let me say this now before you guys comment it in the comments, don't go buy a real bike. Watch my last video, that's why I don't buy a real bike. Number two, I know using the rear brake helps control it, but with these bikes, they don't have the power. So when you're using the rear brake, if you tap it, it's gonna bring it down, and it doesn't have enough power to bring the bike back up. So yeah, that's gonna suck about it. So I gotta learn how to hit that balance point and just hold it there and play with it there. So you guys are gonna see that today. I'm gonna have the helmet on, and then I'm gonna set this camera on the ground, hoping that it gets a good angle. Actually, you know what? Let's set it over here, because I'm gonna wanna have a little bit of room to do speed. I don't know how good of an angle this is gonna be for you guys, but I think this should be perfect for you guys. Battery's about to die. Glad I brought more batteries. But this should be a good angle right here. All right, guys, so let's learn these wheelies. I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm scared. I don't wanna, it's also another bad idea to do it by yourself. Right now I'm out here by myself practicing these, because if I go down or anything like that, or get injured or anything, there's no one really here to help me. I don't think I will get injured that bad. I'm not going like 60 miles per hour. I'm just staying in second gear. But let's try it. So on that camera, I'm not sure what angle I could be at where it should be fine. But here goes nothing. So second gear wheelie, what I'm doing is I'm just dumping the clutch. I can do it without dumping the clutch. For instance, let me show you. You just basically put pressure in the front. You can either do that by hitting the front brake to put pressure in the front, or you could just bounce on it. Whew. Okay, that scared me. You can just bounce on it. I'm a little rusty right now. Let me warm up a little bit. But yeah, just bouncing it and popping it up in second gear. You don't have to dump the clutch. So if you don't like doing that, you don't have to, but that's how you do it. I find it a little bit easier once you get the hang of it to bounce it up. And the reason is, oh, I'm in first gear. And the reason is because it's a steady climb. It's not like dropping the clutch where it just pops up quick. So you can actually play with it a little bit. Oh, these rocks are gonna be dangerous. Let me not come this way. But dumping the clutch, as you can see, depending on how fast you're going, in second gear you kind of want to be going slow. And then you want to just gas it, dump the clutch, and then it pops up. I'm not gassing it too much because, again, I don't want to get used to just popping it up extremely high and then having to brake, because then I can't hold it, but getting it to that point. So let's try. Also, I don't have much room over here. Going this way might be a little bit easier. So my progress, I'll just wheelie for now without showing you guys any tips or trying anything new. This is currently my wheelies and the best I can do. Which is around that time. I could hold it a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. It just depends. and that's just because I'm chasing the throttle out. I find myself, when I get it up high enough, I find myself playing with the throttle to keep it up rather than just holding the throttle all the way down, which I think is a good thing, in my opinion. Comment down below, give me the best tips you guys have. Right there, I went kind of far back. I got scared. If I went any farther back, I would have definitely jumped off, but I need to learn to get back far enough. And then hitting that brake, hitting that rear brake. So for instance, if I pop it up, I'm gonna pop it up, and then I'm gonna just tap the brake, and you guys are gonna see, I'm gonna say tap right when I tap it, you'll see the front tire just drop. Tap. You see the front tire drop, and that's just because I tapped the brake and it drops automatically. Now I need to learn how to gently tap it to the point where it doesn't skydive like that, because that's not practicing a wheelie. I mean, I guess if I get too far back and I get scared, I can do a hard tap and bring it down. But holding a wheelie out, I need to learn to just light tap, light tap. So on camera, you guys are gonna see how far back I get naturally without any practice of not being scared. Okay, so I felt the balance point. I felt where it was. I think that's the furthest back I've gone. But I felt it. I felt where it was. It was at that point where it was like, oh shit, and it was also at that point where it was like, oh, you got this, like right in the middle. If I can get to that oh shit point and not think oh shit and get scared, I feel like I'll have these wheelies down pretty good. Oh, that was a bad one. Woo, it's just scary, man. It's scary getting back, feeling gravity pull you, wanting to pull you off the bike, and knowing that you have to stay on it. Also having that speed, it's another scary thing. But when I don't pop it up like that, you can see I'm gassing it, trying to get it, have the speed to get it pop up. Now on a real bike, not a Chinese bike, if I pop it up like this, I can gas it and it'll lift it up. But these bikes, these Chinese bikes, you gotta learn to be able to pop it, dump the clutch and pop it up high enough to the point where you're not chasing the wheelie out. So for instance, if I chase the wheelie, I'm gonna get it up a little bit, and you're gonna hear me just full throttle to try to get it up, but you're not gonna see it go up. And that's just because these bikes don't have that power to just lift the bike up naturally like a real bike would. So learning on these is a little bit more difficult. But if I can get it on this, I feel like I can get it on a real bike even easier because the power will be there. All right, so let me try now. I'm gonna get it back far. Scary, man. There's a point, I like to call it the oh shit point, where like you get it back far enough and you get scared, like you're gonna fall off. Oh shit, it was right there, man. Oh shit. And especially like when you gas it, because this bike does have a little bit of torque there, when you get it to that spot, if you can get it there gradually, it's not as scary. But if you're barely almost there and then you give it that kick and it gets to that oh shit point, that's where it gets really scary, because that kick gets you there so quick that it's just an instinct to like panic rather than the instinct to just stay on it or hit the clutch. So now I'm fighting with myself. Do I want to learn how to gradually get there, or do I want to be able to pop it up for you guys in the video just so we can get to it quicker? So we're gonna just play with it a little bit, show you guys a little bit of it. I try to make sure I'm in the camera zone. It's scary, man. There's another thing that I learned. Leaning back helps. I mean, it is scarier because you are farther back and it does feel like you're falling, but like if you're doing a wheelie, using your weight to pull back and lean back and using your weight to get the bike up on these smaller bikes, it's a little bit easier because you don't have to give it so much gas because you're already using a lot of your weight pulling it back. Now if I lean forward, I'll do it on the camera. There's two different ways. You can do it leaning back, for instance, that looks like this, where you see my arms like extended, not all the way, but extended. That's the way I like to do it. With the arms extended, leaning back. But I have a roommate who can hold it pretty good, but he leans forward. He does a leaning forward tactic, which isn't as scary, but you lean forward and you pull the bike up to your chest. It's kind of harder. Maybe it's just, let me try it right now with the camera. See, you can get it up higher. It's not as scary because you're leaning forward, but the bike is easier to drop. It's harder to hold that balance point leaning forward, and that's just because, see, it's less scary, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is a lot less scary getting it up like that. Like, watching the camera, see which gets higher. I know I could go higher than that doing it at that angle. Let me try again. Try again with the leaning forward. Oh no, I can do it better. It's not as scary because you're not leaning back. So again, one more time with leaning forward, how high up we can get the bike. That was probably as high as I could get it, which wasn't bad. I didn't feel that oh shit moment where I got scared. It was almost there, but I didn't feel it because I was leaning forward. Now when I'm leaning back, that's when things get scarier, but you want to learn that. You want to learn leaning back is the move. That's what you want to do. You see the people do wheelies, they're not bent over their bike like this. They're leaning back, chilling, one hand, doing stuff like that because they're using their weight to counterbalance it or to help keep the bike up. Alright, enough with trying to coach because I don't even know how to wheelie, so let me stop. Let me just practice myself. Pop it up. That's what I gotta do though, man. I gotta get it up and just feel comfortable. I got scared, so I let go of the throttle. It is scary. It is very scary. And I always forget to hit the brake. I always forget, because when you're leaning back, your foot naturally isn't like, oh, let me tippy toe. And that's why they teach you when you're doing wheelies, just work on, and then dropping it. Work on, dropping it. And dropping it, because you get your mind used to hitting the brake. And also, you have to say over and over in your head, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, and then do the wheelie. I've heard tips like that, rear brake, rear brake. It does make you remember. If you're saying it constantly in your head, it makes you remember to hit the rear brake. But alright. I'm gonna go this way towards the camera. Hit the camera. So there, I was pretty high up. I mean, I don't know how it was. I know it was no 12 o'clock. I don't know how close I was to the balance point, but it felt like I could hold it. I like going this way just because the road extends, so I don't run into this metal wire. Let's try it again. And as you saw right there, fully throttle, gassing it, couldn't catch up. It couldn't have the power to lift me up. Here we go. And if I fall, I'm jumping off the bike. I'm not gonna worry too much about trying to save the bike. My safety is more important. Alright, I'm going to try to go as long as I can. able to hold it a little bit better. I did hear tips where you can sit back on the seat and put your feet down. Let me show you on camera. So I heard some tips where you can actually sit on the seat towards the back, put your feet down, and just do it like this, keep your feet down, to actually keep yourself from like feeling that oh shit moment. I can try that, but I've tried it in the past and I didn't feel like it was too effective. I feel like once I put my feet back up, I was still scared, just because in that position you're leaning forward, not leaning back. But we could try it. We could try it for you guys. Okay, you don't want to try it on this bike because this has a real leather seat. This seat is so slippery, I was just slipping off of it. So I'm gonna have to not do that on this bike. But it did feel good. I was able to get it up and not be scared. That felt good. Felt good. I didn't really keep my foot on the rear brake, which I should have. I'm getting it up to the point where I'm not getting as scared. I just need to stretch that oh shit barrier to be a little bit longer so I don't get scared. But then again, I have been building up to those heights. And this bike is very like sturdy, so I don't feel the need that I'm wobbling. Second gear, you can't go too fast. It's gonna be a longer video. It's gonna be kind of just me learning, showing you guys a little bit of it, because I know a lot of you guys want to see stuff like this. See, I feel like if I wasn't going this way and I was holding it that way, that was a nice one, but because the road was coming to an end, I had to stop. Compared to when I first started learning, I have been getting a little bit better. Like I said in my last video, before I couldn't even pop it up in second gear. Now I'm at least popping it up and holding it in second gear. Let's try that. Let's try that. Instead of wah, 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 let's try to get to a good balance point and then be able to hold it at a certain speed. Maybe that might be better. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's how they actually hold wheelies and stuff? I know a lot of you guys have a little bit more experience than me in the comments, so let me know. Is that how they hold it? I know on 2-strokes they bounce with it. But on 4-strokes, am I supposed to be able to hit a certain spot and keep the throttle at a certain level to keep it up, or am I going to just keep bouncing it like that? Ooh, it feels like I need to hit that level of just balance and perfect throttle. Got scared right there. Perfect. Busting my ass. Oh, and that's the problem right there. If you guys saw, hopefully that camera's still going. Let me check. Maybe. Whoo, that was scary. Scary. That was really scary. See, I didn't even touch my rear brake, which, gosh, I'm having a problem doing that. Like, I need to hit the rear brake, but instead I just held it, no gas, no brake, and just hoped that I didn't fall. And I probably wasn't even that far back. That's the sad thing. No, it bogs. Yeah, the power's not there. I might have to let my bike rest for a little. Yeah, we're gonna take a break. Quick break, guys. Well, great. I found out the reason my bike is bogging. It's because I literally ran out of gas. I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere with no gas. Gotta call up my boys. This sucks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys please can give this video a thumbs up. Now I gotta find a way home. Probably walk the bike miles. See you guys in the next video. Peace.